Good morning, all the appraisal committee members. It's my great honor to stand here to accept your criticism. Thanks for your serious work. My student ID is UP7899175, and for nearly 10 days of hard work, I finished my paper and could share it with you. I will present my efforts to you all, and I gratefully welcome any correction. The title of my paper is a strategy for Chinese fashion brands to gain access to international market. I choose this as my topic due to the following reasons. I've noticed that internationalization of firms is one of the highlights of companies' development strategy over the past 40 years. The study of internationalization theory provides a certain experience for Chinese enterprises. I try to explore the most effective way for Chinese enterprises to expand overseas business by taking a certain company as an example. This paper consists of 5 parts. In the first part, the research background of this topic is introduced briefly. In the second part, the theory used in the research is introduced and analyzed. When it goes to the third part, it mainly introduces the research methods and strategies, including the final analysis method. The fourth part mainly introduces the research findings. Finally, the fifth part is the conclusions and suggestions based on the research results. First, it is the introduction. Hangzhou Meitu Fashion Company was established in 2002 and has devoted to the production of fashion apparels since its foundation. Due to China's strong economic growth between 2001 to 2008, the company has expanded quickly in China and become one of the leading fashion fabric designers and producers. The company has specialized in the production of fashion clothing, and with its high production technologies, the company has soon established its presence in China as a contracted producer for fashion apparel companies and the supplier of fabric goods. One of Meitu's main challenges is its low profit margins. Due to the company's focus on B2B clothing production, the lack of consumer market recognition limits the company's profitability in the industry. Meitu's profit margin is about 9.2% compared with the fashion industry's average of 28%. Another key challenge for the company is the slowdown in China's economic growth in recent years and the changes in consumer behavior in the country. Domestic fashion brands face increasingly fierce competition from global competitors such as H&M and Zara. This shows that consumers have more purchase options in the market, and the entry of international competitors has penetrated into the company's current market structure. Therefore, as domestic fashion brands' revenue performance is affected by international competition, the company's sales revenue has also declined. Having identified the challenges Meitu faces, let's take a look at the questions I've tried to address in my research. Namely, what are the most effective internationalization methods for Chinese MNEs to gain access to overseas consumers? And what recommendations can be provided to Meitu to meet its business and marketing objectives? Then let me introduce you the theory applied in the paper. Uppsala model is a progressive enterprise internationalization theory proposed by Johansson and Wellen based on the analysis of the internationalization process of Swedish enterprises. There are 4 general steps that explain the internationalization of companies. First, in the initial phase of the Uppsala model, companies are exploring opportunities in overseas markets. However, at this stage of internationalization, the company's sales are mainly from the domestic market and the opportunities from foreign markets are limited. Second, as the companies continued to gain stronger presence in the domestic market, they began to look for export opportunities from overseas market. In the third stage, the internationalization process was captured by the firm's establishment of foreign subsidiaries at foreign market. Finally, the final stage of the model states that companies have become more involved in the foreign market due to the higher significance of foreign business activities. According to Uppsala model, the internationalization process experienced by enterprises is generally as follows: accidental export, agency export, establishment of overseas sales institutions, and overseas direct production. Namely, the internationalization of enterprises is also a gradual development process. Digital marketing is also applied in the research. As we all know, the importance of electronic marketing for this era of internet development is not to be underestimated. Data show that more than 19% of online fashion retailers in China have built global influence through e-commerce platforms, including eBay and Amazon, as well as the most local platforms such as Lazada. The globalization of e-commerce platforms has become a popular way because the platform itself is seen as an intermediary network connecting fashion brands directly with overseas fashion retailers. As a result, the internet makes it easier for clothing retailers to enter overseas markets. What's more, global logistics makes it easier for Chinese companies to deliver products to overseas destinations, which enables them to shorten delivery time and better meet customer expectations. However, less than 1% of the retailers in China have established overseas office for worrying about cultural challenges. While most Chinese fashion companies enter foreign markets through internet platforms, understanding consumer behavior is also important to assess the effectiveness of marketing strategies. Relevant data shows that consumers still tend to buy fashion products through physical stores. Now, let's focus on my primary research. First, the research methodology of this study was conducted through the research philosophy of positivism. Due to the purpose of this study was to investigate the internationalization of the most effective way to enter foreign markets, which means that the most effective method is by observing the consumer buying behavior and the purchase intention of foreign apparel goods, because the purchase intention is the objective observation of consumer behavior in foreign markets. Second, the deductive approach is also used in this research, since Apsela provides the basic theoretical model to explain the internationalization process of multinational companies. Deductive method is the most suitable method for this study. Based on Apsela model, this study aims to compare the strategies to obtain market access through agents such as internet platforms, or by setting up foreign subsidiaries such as physical stores. In terms of the research strategy, this study is carried out through quantitative research, namely questionnaire survey. In addition, the results were analyzed using SPSS, and the specific analysis methods were descriptive analysis and correlation analysis. The samples in this research were UK university students, and ethical considerations has been fully taken into account during the research. Considering the time and length of the study, this is the most effective research method. The data collection process was completely online, and the questionnaire was sent to the target respondents via email after the completion. Finally, a total of 50 responses were collected. Let me outline the main findings in the research. First of all, the following is the average score of respondents' purchase intention of foreign fashion clothes, as you can see from the three graphs. Research results show that respondents have a relatively strong intention to buy foreign fashion clothing. Mean is 3.88 and the standard deviation is 1.108. Most respondents are more willing to buy fashion clothing brands with brand awareness. Mean is 4.1 and the standard deviation is 1.112. And respondents also believe that understanding the value reflected in fashion clothing brands is important for their purchase intention. However, the results of descriptive research also show that when buying foreign fashion goods, the evaluation of price and quality is not so important. Looking at this column diagram, we can see partial statistics of respondents' intention to buy foreign fashion goods through agents. We can see intuitively that respondents are more willing to buy foreign fashion clothing brands through e-commerce platforms. Agents ranked second, followed by department stores. Finally, we can see from this table that mean of respondents' willingness to buy fashionable foreign clothes through brand stores. Respondents have a strong intention to buy foreign fashion clothes due to their physical experience in brand stores. Respondents have a relatively strong intention to buy through brand stores and agree that they are more willing to buy in brand stores registered in their own country. This is the result of the correlation analysis between the purchase intention of foreign clothing commodities and the purchase of foreign clothing commodities by agents. From the analysis results, there is no correlation between the variables. Therefore, the research results show that e-commerce channels are not an effective way to buy foreign fashion goods. In addition, the research results show that the willingness to buy foreign fashion clothing products is significantly correlated with the brick-and-mortar store experience, and the purchase intention caused by brand value perception is also significantly correlated with the brick-and-mortar store experience. The physical store experience can better understand the value conveyed and embodied by foreign fashion brands, thus actively guiding the purchase intention. The final part of the research is recommendation and justification. The most effective method for Chinese fashion apparel MNEs to expand globally is to establish foreign sales subsidiaries. The reasons are as follows. First, the descriptive analysis showed that respondents have very strong level of intention to purchase foreign fashion apparel because of the physical experience at branded stores. Second, that purchase intention for foreign fashion apparel goods are significantly correlated experience at physical stores. Finally, purchase intention as a result of value perception of the brand is also significantly correlated with the experience at a physical store. Here is the specification of strategy for Meitu. According to the upseller model, Meitu first needs to identify the target market for the company to increase its awareness of foreign consumers. Second, the company should hire a team of local employees to manage and execute the company's foreign strategy. This includes store management, brand marketing management, and brand promotion throughout the country. Third, the company should establish its own network image through e-commerce platform to ensure that the brand can enter and consume through network channels. Finally, it is suggested that social media marketing strategies to further expand the influence and awareness of the brand. The strategy offers two major solutions to Meitu's business challenges. First, it gives Meitu access to global markets, ensuring that the company's economic risks in China are offset by revenue diversification through the company's internationalization. Second, the expansion of physical stores means the company has transformed itself from a traditional fashion supplier into a retail business. The success of this strategy will improve the profitability of the company. Finally, I would like to talk about this paper and my own shortcomings. Because of my shallow knowledge, I have a lot of prejudice and a superficial understanding of some issues. Due to the weak theoretical basis and expression ability, this paper has a lot of illogical and words do not express the meaning. Many questions also need to be further thought and discussion. I would like to take this opportunity to sincerely reply to you and hope that you can put forward your valuable opinions and more pointed out the mistakes and shortcomings in the design. I will understand it with my heart so as to further study and improve my research. At the same time, I also gain a lot in the process. I recognized the importance of objective data that reflected the reality of the market, because some results are very different from my subjective perception. I believe this will have a great impact on my future research and various careers. Thanks again for all the help I received in my research. Thanks for listening.